She lost everything as a CEO, but two twin girls changed her life in an instant. The silence inside the apartment felt heavier than noise ever had. Claire Mitchell sat at the small kitchen table, staring at a cracked phone screen that no longer buzzed with alerts, meetings, or demands. Outside, Austin moved on, traffic humming down the highway, a distant siren, the dry wind carrying heat and dust. Inside, time seemed stalled, as if her life had missed a turn it would never reach again. Every morning followed the same pattern now. She woke before sunrise in the modest studio she could barely afford, brewed cheap coffee, and opened her laptop out of habit, only to remember there was nothing left to check. No servers, no teams, no company to save. The hackers had been precise, methodical, not reckless teenagers chasing chaos, but professionals who knew exactly where to strike. By the time her security consultants identified the breach, the damage was irreversible. What hurt most wasn't the money. It was the faith she had placed in systems, layers, hierarchies, the belief that control could protect her from uncertainty. That belief had collapsed overnight. On a restless afternoon, seeking air more than purpose, Claire wandered into a community shelter she had once sponsored through her company's social initiative program. Back then, visits were ceremonial. Photos, smiles, checks signed without names remembered. Now she entered unnoticed, just another woman escaping the heat. That was when she saw the girls again. They were sitting near the wall, knees pulled to their chests, sharing space with an outdated laptop. The screen flickered faintly. One of them typed slowly. The other watched, correcting her with silent gestures. They weren't playing games. Claire could tell immediately. Their posture carried intent. Curiosity pulled her closer. "Does that thing still work?" Claire asked gently. The girls looked up in unison. Identical faces, same dark eyes, same guarded calm. One nodded. "Sometimes," the girl on the left said. "When it listens." Claire smiled faintly at the phrasing and sat on the floor beside them. For the first time in weeks, she stayed somewhere without checking the time. Over the next days she returned, at first out of distraction, then necessity. The twins, Lena and Maya, were quiet, but not shy. They spoke carefully, choosing words the way engineers choose components. Their mother, Claire learned, cleaned offices at night. Their father had disappeared years earlier. School came second to survival, but curiosity had never left them. One afternoon, while Lena was explaining how they fixed broken electronics donated to the shelter, Claire noticed something written in the margins of a math notebook, a diagram. Familiar. Too familiar. She felt her chest tighten. "Where did you learn this?" Claire asked, pointing. Maya shrugged. "We noticed patterns. Old security is noisy, real breaches are quiet." Claire's mind raced. She had heard that phrase before, in a report, a warning she had dismissed as unlikely. That night she didn't sleep. She pulled out her old backups, fragments saved out of instinct more than hope. As hours passed, dread turned into clarity. The twins had seen what her entire security team had missed, not because they were trained, but because they were patient. They watched systems the way other children watched people. The attack had exploited a human assumption, not a technical failure. In the following weeks, Claire returned every evening. She brought notebooks, pencils, snacks. Slowly, trust formed. Not mentorship, not authority, but partnership. She explained concepts without simplification. They asked questions without fear. When frustration surfaced, it was shared, never dismissed. What emerged wasn't just an understanding of how the company had been destroyed, but why. Claire saw herself clearly for the first time, a leader who had confused speed with wisdom, growth with awareness. The truth, once understood, led not to revenge but to acceptance. She chose not to rebuild the company. Instead, she built something smaller, a local program, a space inside the shelter. Old computers repaired, internet access restored, curiosity protected, not accelerated. Months later, on a cool evening rare for Texas, Claire stood outside the shelter watching Lena and Maya laugh under flickering lights. Gospel music drifted from the church nearby. Cars passed. Life continued. Imperfect, unfinished. She wasn't a CEO anymore, but for the first time, she felt responsible in a way titles had never required. Sometimes loss doesn't erase who you are. It strips away who you thought you had to be, until two quiet voices show you what truly matters.